whoever that may be.
I'll say something funny. Something funny. Never
There's
mind.
the dry humor I needed. We're in Q1, just started, no cars are out.
Get that due down to just people having incidents, risking too much. Heading into the Casio Triangle with our Wizzy, the 32 V-car. We ride on board with the V-car driver down into the line. What time is he going to set? It's a 132.4. That's the benchmark.
132.4.
Yep.
Remember that benchmark was made by going off the track into the gravel. I do think you can get another 2 seconds on that time without the mistake.
Steel Wolf, 2 seconds slower. Interesting.
Sadly, we did not watch his on cam due to the multitude of cars going off.
There we go. That's
Hirsch
a more
puts a
representative.
129.
Yep, more representative time by him. There's a Mercedes in the background. He goes 1.7 seconds off of his pace. Aston Martin coming out the last corner, setting a lap. He's P5, that's Slushy. It's currently held by this McLaren, the number, is that 10 McLaren if I'm not mistaken? Heading into, oh no, it's number 20, 24 McLaren, as he heads out of that corner and into the start-finish line. He takes P2, 1.2 seconds off. Kirsch has really set a benchmark in that Sauber that no one is seeming to be able to get near on these first bank laps.
Or a lap he has practiced and he can do successfully repeatedly.
Yeah, Pontic, I've just seen he's 7.3 seconds up on his lap, right aboard with the rookie, heading through Spoon Corner. And the number 69 Haskar heads up into 130R. Could Pontic, the number, or is it number 66 potentially? Maybe that's why it's in his gamer tag. As he's 10 seconds up, that'll put him level on pegging with Kirsch, I reckon, with over 29. Pontic through the Casio Triangle. The rookie heads out of the last corner here in Japan, and Pontic takes pole position.
Takes pole position. Pontic on used 3-lap softs takes pole. Genuinely shocked.
Absolute madness. Is he a rookie?
Absolutely nowhere from his first lap of spinning. That's actually insane. And he spins again.
He's doing some donuts. He's doing some donuts for the fans.
I must say, I am genuinely shocked at Pontic. He on 3-lap old soft set a lap better than everybody on the grid after spinning out repeatedly.
At the moment,
Pontic's time alone was competitive for the Tier 1 league, honestly.
Yeah, they were setting similar times. We got 65 thousandths up for Kirsch heading through Sector 2 into the Casio Triangle. Very big send into the chicane and very late on the brakes. Just about got it stopped, but that was almost too late on the brakes as he heads over the line. And it's only 0.498 seconds off, so only just under half a second within Pontic's time.
That was made with a new set of softs, unlike Pontic, who's used fresh. It seems like half the grid has yet to pit, despite it being already halfway through the qualifying session. Very surprising.
Yeah. Pontic, who's damaged his front wing. That's important. Where on earth is he headed? He's in the Marshall
is completely in the runoff area right now. Seems like he's stuck.
Yeah, he's in the Marshall
I have
post.
never seen a car end up in this position before.
Yeah, and he's damaged his wing as well. That is really gonna hurt him in this last
I think
part of
damage is an
qualifying.
understatement. He doesn't even have a front wing.
Yeah, and he's the understeer, big understeer, and that is
Pontic's
the front
only
tires being
chance
cut.
is just to retire the car. It will probably be best overall. No chance of setting in even somewhat competitive lap with no front wing, especially around Japan.
Yeah, so on his banker lap, he's blown us away. On his actual last lap, he's blown his front wing away. Yeah, stay running. Oh, and a new pole time by Kirsch.
That must hurt for
25.8.
Pontic. Only 1/10 up. If he was able to if Pontic was able to achieve any time gain on fresh softs, he could have easily beat his old time.
Yeah, it depends if he can get rounds in time to
Kirsch.
size up, and he's currently in his pit box, so I don't think he can.
He is up by 5/10 going to the final chicane. He's
Trent
currently
Yachts.
P8. His current time puts him up to P4 if he can achieve it.
And that means Trent Yachts is going to be looking over his shoulders. Lone Wolf over the line, half a second up.
Over the line.
P3.
Up into P3, taking Das Hart, Lule, Trimp, and the Alpine of Staria Nick.
Or maybe
up
not.
From P8.
Oh, maybe. I was about to say maybe not, but he's 5.3 seconds down on this lap, and he abandoned into the lap. There's an Alpine in the wall at the same place where Liam Vella crashed yesterday. Oh, not yesterday, the other day in the Tier 1 race. As Marcy saying that a 25.8 would put him in 6th in the Tier 1 qualifying session. So here we go, the race of Jules is away here in Japan, and there's a couple cars stalling on the grids, and there's a Red Bull round.
Red Bull round, Lule has spun. He has stalled on the grid.
There's about 3 of them who've all stalled on the grid, but we head through the first curve, and it's a perfect start for Kirsch, perfect start for Pontic, and yeah, on a day where it was confirmed to the world 10 years ago that Jules Bianchi sadly will no longer be with us. A minute silence commemorating that. As meanwhile the V-Cars going side by side nearly out of the Dunlop corner. And meanwhile the front two looking like they're getting very close and personal. The Haas and the Sauber, 2 Ferrari customer teams.
Pontic is right behind Kirsch. He is ready to attack into any straight the moment Kirsch makes a mistake. Kirsch goes wide out of the hairpin. Pontic gains.
Meanwhile, the Aston Martin of Josh and Straight Running nearly swapping places, but not quite. Just currently looking at this battle with the 2 V-Carbs, the 2 Astons, and the Aston Martin on the outside of the Alpine of Stray Rannick, or Star Rannick, and he's going to make the move. It's 3 wide into turn 1 between the Alpine and the Aston Martin. And the V-Carb stays ahead. Down the inside goes Josh. And wide goes the other V-Carb of Awizzy. And round to the V-Carb and the Alpine. Chaos at turn 1.
Two cars collide and are off track. Lule in the pits after damaging from turn 1.
The V-Carbs collided, and oh, there's more chaos. The 2 V-Carbs, there's an Awizzy off again. For the second time in barely a minute. And Wizzy's off, and he's nearly gone into the path of his own teammate again. Well, that first collision, there was 2 cars, the 2 V-Carbs hit into each other, and that pinged one into the Alpine, who was an innocent bystander in all of that, and yet has come up worse. And he's now under threat from Marshall, who's down the inside in Degner too, looking to get past the struggling Alpine, who has barely any front wing on his right-hand side.
I must say, I'm very surprised that despite all that contact into the first corner, the gap between the cars is not that big. P6 is only 3 seconds down, while everyone else is big marginally in a line. The furthest car is Lule down in P12, 33 seconds down.
Yep. And Marshall does get past Star Rannick as the leader, Pontic, was having a look for a move on the outside of the Casio Triangle just then, and he set the fastest lap. Does he get the run into turn 1? No, he does not. But the 2 Aston Martins as well, line astern. I think they will be able to pick up more points than Mercedes if they finish in the way that they are. And on the outside here goes Pontic. No, he's not going to make the move into the Snake S's. This is very close battling, stuff that we haven't seen for a while. If these 2 battle in the way that I think they're going to battle, this could be all the wall marks of Dijon so many years ago between Villeneuve and Rene Arnoux. And that incredible battle back in the 1970s, if I'm not mistaken. As meanwhile, on the exit, that is a beautiful exit out of Degner 2, but into the hairpin. Is he going to make the move on the inside? No, he doesn't risk it for the chocolate biscuit. He's going to wait a couple laps. This is only lap 3 out of 27. And
there is a yellow flag as one car goes off into the chicane. The Red Bull spins.
Yeah,
no damage, thankfully.
Heartbreak for him as we head through Spoon Corner with the leaders still, though. And 3 tenths separating them. They are, I think, the closest battle on track.
Pontic side by side.
Nearly.
Has to abandon it.
Yep, nearly on the outside of 130. Oh, that was very close. And now into the Casio Triangle. The move they tried last lap. On the outside of the 27 Sauber, no. fended off for the second time in
attacking
2
every corner into Kirsch, and Kirsch is defending perfectly.
Josh into P4 round the outside of the Mercedes. He does get the move that Pontic was trying to get on the Sauber. Meanwhile, Kirsch able to fend him off for at least one more lap here on lap 4 of 27. Meanwhile, speaking of runs, on the outside of 130, goes the Haas. Is he going to make the move that Fernando Alonso did so many years ago? He does, and round goes Kirsch! Kirsch in the wall! With no front wing! The King Sauber has kicked himself out of this race.
No safety car. I'm very surprised by this.
Shocking. That was a crash for a Marussia in that same place around 14 years ago. I think it was Lucas de Grassi. And he ended up having a monstrous shunt. Luckily, not the same fate beholding this Sauber of Kirsch. And he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's come undone like a shoelace with scissors. And the front wing gets changed. And he's going to be hoping for a miracle.
Pontic by 4 tenths down right now. He went up from 1.8 tenths down to 4 tenths. He has gained a whole second within this last lap. And inside! Oh my god, they touched!
What a move! By Lone Wolf on Pontic. No, Pontic gives it back.
Pontic still takes it. Pontic is rapid. Despite having contact in the hairpin, is still able to retake first place from Lone Wolf, who has suddenly gained pace.
Yeah.
Josh up in the P3 out of nowhere. I have not even been watching Josh.
Yeah, Josh, he was P4, but because of Kirsch having that mistake, he got up into P3, as meanwhile into 130 again. This corner was ended in tears last time. 2 cars went side by side through here. And on the outside of the Casio triangle, not making the move stick. But the Lone Wolf, I think he gave that place back at the exit of the hairpin due to how clunky it was. I don't know if maybe he was doing that out of sportsmanship. But down into the straight here, what on earth's happening here?
Lone Wolf has DRS. He goes down, covers the line. He will take first place into turn 1.
Meanwhile, the Mercedes try to battle the Williams on Marshall, who's going to have a run into turn 1 on the inside, and he gets the move done. Marshall takes 6th from the Mercedes and then runs wide, and nearly has his front wing chopped off. He's on those soft tyres, and I reckon they are dying off. Car separating by just over 1.4 seconds. And it's going to be a move into 130R. No, into the Casio triangle then. Goes to McLaren, who's side by side with the Haas. His front wheels against his side pod into the inside of the Casio triangle. Lone Wolf is now the lone man in first place. He takes the lead. Now Josh is looking to get a move on the Aston Martin. He's got the run, and also
3 cars!
Pontic
on the
doesn't have
straight.
DRS. Yeah, Pontic, he doesn't have DRS, and he's going to get overtaken for 3rd place as well. For Josh, and Josh is wide. And the number 19 falls back behind those two. That is a mad battle between the leaders.
The pace of these tier 2 drivers is honestly impressive.
And it's about to get even more pressure for Marcelo, who does the same attempt at a move again into turn 1 and 2. He just keeps on onto the track, but he's being attacked into the asses again by the Mercedes driver. And meanwhile,
Pontic goes wide.
Yep, Marshall got
the
right into the back off.
Slides again. Josh going down for the inside, abandons the attack into the hairpin. No attack is made. Go around smoothly. This is helping Lone Wolf. Pontic has forced to defend against Josh. Any gap Lone Wolf is getting is helping his chances of winning. Third of the current race done. What do you think has been told about it? What has it indicated for future races and the future of this current race?
I think something that's indicated for some in the future races that you don't start on softs, otherwise you end up like Marshall pitting on lap 8 already onto some mediums. I'm surprised he didn't go for hards, but yeah, I feel like in the future it's going to be a very good title battle between these 3 and Kirsch. Yeah, Lone Wolf pit for softs. He's on softs now. He's down the inside of Slusher on those softs, and he's knocked him off the track out of Degner 2. I don't know if that will have to be looked at, but that looked like a little bump pass there from the side pod. And there's a Williams off. Marshall around again at the first curve. No damage or anything, but not the best place to be parking. As
he spins again.
Yep. As Das Hart pits, Pontic coming out of the pits, and he's ahead of the other Aston Martin.
Does not reverse onto the track into incoming traffic, thank God. He actually waits. He is currently in a horrible position.
Yeah,
he's in the track. Kirsch
I said,
First takes
oh,
avoiding action around Marsler.
very close to clipping the front of that. Williams, he'll have a lot of time now to get back onto the track and get himself sorted out.
Disqualified from the session.
Yeah, he's beached. He was beached on that curb. That's why he could move to get out of the way of Kirsch. He was beached.
My gosh. That is tragic for Marsler.
The marshaller now needs the marshals to clear him off the track. But yeah,
It's possible Lone Wolf believes that his McLaren is just the real life equivalent of a McLaren and cool those softs off for the entire race.
the V-carb swapping positions there. They nearly collided, but Awizzy gets past his teammate and down the inside. Nearly contact between the V-carbs, and that was nearly contact between the pair of them. Meanwhile, the Aston Martin and the Alpine. This looks like a little 6th to 9th place quadruple squad, and off wide goes Tremp in the 77. He nearly collects the Alpine. That was very scary stuff, but this is about
to lap 18.
Yeah.
4 mediums.
Meanwhile, into 130R with the Aston Martin of Slusher, who's ahead of Awizzy, and the nearly contact into the Casio triangle. The grip is so much more superior on that Aston Martin, but it's not going to help him in the end of the race, not at all. I don't know if will be a 2-stop race, but what's going on here for P6? Through goes the Aston.
Wizzy doing multiple defensive moves onto Dazhart on the main straight.
Yep.
Not Dazhart, Slusher, my correction.
Yep.
It seems like at this moment, anyone in this line is fighting for P6. Dazhart up the road by 18 seconds. Has pretty much solidified his P5 as long as he can keep on track.
Yeah, the Alpine looking for P7 as well. Although he's on the hards, he's looking a lot more confident, similar to Track Racer the other day.
Into Diagonal 1. Oh, off track. Cannot brake in time. The hards are not grippy enough to be able to take that corner at that much speed.
Not a lot of things have a lot of grip to do a move at that corner without going off. You'd have to have a lot of things going for you in order for that move to be made. But he's lost the position to the 2 V-carb drivers, who are now 7 and 8. The closest 2 teammates on the track, and they're side by side through 200R into Spoon Corner. Round they go, and they make the move stick. And the leaders side by side into turn 1 for Pontic. No, he doesn't get the move done on Lone Wolf. So close yet so far. Meanwhile, the V-carb's battling this Alpine, who has been swallowed up there. Oh, don't go through wide into 130R. Nope. One V-carb goes past one. The other one goes past the Alpine, who has a collision. It's a 3-way crash. And the Alpine's in the wall. And same as Kirsch earlier, but even worse. Star Yannick is into the wall and without a front wing. Absolute shocking. And
Goulet makes another position.
Yep. And that's he's going to make another one as well as the V-carb of Awizzy pits after that entire skirmish. What on earth happened there? Last corner, down the straight for Pontic. Is he going to get the move on Lone Wolf? Yes, he is. The 24 McLaren is now in P2. Or is he? Side by side, and he's wide. Pontic.
Pontic takes P1 with his hard tires. Lone Wolf down in P2 with Sauce. Josh, who has been having his own silent race, but keeping up with the front runners, is also on hards. One thing I have to say is it does not look like the hards are that, I guess, quick. We saw with Awizzy and Star and Nick that they have absolutely no grip into any corner. It is possible that soft, medium, soft is just a faster strat.
Yeah, the Dark Crepitor and Pontic's just showed us that he had a bad run out of Dagna too, and he's now under pressure again from Lone Wolf. The front 3 all make contact, heading through the hairpin. It was minor contact, but that is the closest I've ever seen 3 cars be at the speed that they're going as they go through 200R. Lone Wolf into Spoon Corner, tried the Sebastian Vettel 2018 move, but not making it play out. The Aston Martin's now looking at this, licking his lips, thinking, oh, that's a free P2. I'll have that, thank you very much. He's
with the slipstream.
Yep.
He has a slipstream down to 130R. He goes on the right side. Is he going to stick it? He does it. Lone Wolf actually goes on the right side, trying to cut off Pontic. They're side by side. He goes wide. Oh, he doesn't.
Into the Casio triangle. Back off. Yep. Absolute madness. That was...
At this current moment, I think all 3 cars are in the capability of winning this race, and they're all being conservative not to crash out. Lone Wolf's capability of staying with these front runners on his Usoffs, and he takes first place on Usoffs.
And he got switched
Doesn't
back
make
by
a stick.
both of them.
Oh, both cars, no grip. He has absolutely nothing in the turn one.
This battling has
Usoffs
really...
have fallen off.
Yeah, that battling has really hurt Softs. Those three, although they were being conservative not to collide, they were on the limit of colliding, especially through the hairpin where they all made a tiny bit of contact, a little bit of debris flinging from, or debris animation anyway from the game. And that was madness. Oh, and wide again for Pontic at the Degner. And that's the second lap in a row he's done that. And oh, that was very close as they go round the outside of the Salesforce hairpin.
Pontic will keep it.
No,
or not. No, he won't. Josh goes around the inside.
Yep. Nicely done. Through 200 into Spoon Corner. That's side by side. 2018 flashbacks again.
Trying his best to keep in the fight. Goes around. It has been lap after lap of constant combat with these top three. It has been entertaining.
The only person missing from this is Kirsch, but heading into 130R yet again, side by side with the green card. It doesn't end in tears this time, unlike it did at the opening stages of this race with Kirsch and Pontic. But the rookie falls behind Josh and falls in line as the 19 car leads lap 15 of Golden Racing League's Race for Jules. And into the pits
Lone Wolf
comes Lone Wolf. Yep.
It's smart for Lone Wolf. If they keep fighting, he can eventually catch back up to them. But right now, his tires cannot do anything.
They nearly collide as the leaders still going at it, heading through the assist section. They're closer than just... I can't even think of anything. Like if social distancing was still a thing, that would be broken 8 times over a lap between these guys. Heading over the hill and into the Dagners, the Aston Martin still holding his own against the rookie.
It is possible Lone Wolf's strategy could have worked out for him. It seems like every car at the current moment is going to go till the end on their current tires besides the soft runners. Lone Wolf will have 5 lap fresher hards throughout the race.
Yeah, I'm surprised he did hards. I'm surprised he hasn't maybe gone for mediums. That would have been a better strategy.
I believe hards allows him to push the tires way further than mediums can.
Yeah, although he's going to lose a bit of pace from it. But
his first challenge is catching up to Das Hart and overtaking him. From there, Kirsch, and then he can make it back to the front runners as you are fighting. Yellow flag.
Teammate, the Aston Martin, Josh's teammate Slush has gone round at Dunlop, and he's now going to fall behind the Mercedes nearly of Steel Wolf. But yeah, and he's on 5 lap softs, so those softs die within about 5-6 laps. And meanwhile, the leaders.
Not unless you're Lone Wolf.
Yep. As we all know, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. Both Aston Martins trying to defend. One defending from a Haas for the lead of the race, the other one defending from a Mercedes 4P7. That's going to really help Lone Wolf. But as the great Murray Walker once said,
he's off again. Off again. He cannot take these corners. His tires are full of grass. Lone Wolf goes around the outside. Lone Wolf takes P4. Absolutely incredible for Lone Wolf. He now has to get to Kirsch and then make his way back up 20 seconds down on Pontic.
Yep. That'll probably be the easiest overtake of this stint, as Murray Walker once said. Catching is one thing, passing is quite another. That pass was relatively easy, and that'll be probably the easiest one he can get. He will probably catch up to Kirsch. And meanwhile, the outside of 30R potentially is Pontic on the 19 car. And is he going to make the move stick into the Casio Triangle? Yes, he will.
He is in the front of the apex.
Yep. And
Josh's exit is compromised heavily by that.
Yeah, he took evasive action.
However, he sticks it. He is still with Pontic.
Yep. There's turn 1 again. And he's just lost a bit of that late straight line speed into the first corner.
Did qualifying with his relaps, has been using used softs throughout this race.
The battle for P7's hotting up. Steele and Trent making contact through the S's. That was almost ending in tears for those two. Heading over the Dunlop curve. This is going to be a battle to keep an eye on for the next few laps, as well as the battle for P2 between Pontic and Lone Wolf.
Pontic has the advantage of 3-lap fresher hards.
Yeah.
However, they have entered the undercut region of Josh if Josh decides to pit. Will Josh take his hards another 7 laps?
Oh,
Kirsch
car
puts
off.
the fastest lap.
Was he off? That was the V-car, the teammate of the man in P8. Is currently
Off again,
he's
and
nearly
there
the wall.
go! The
That is
tire's
the-
off, he has
That's
no
the safety
tire.
car. The first safety car of tier 2. And that was, I don't know what happened there. But
This
that is
practically gives Josh a free pit stop, as he's the
Yep.
only car out. He can now pit for what I would pit with mediums and to keep P1. Pontic
Yep.
and Lone Wolf has now to decide. If I am 1, 2, and 3, I would all pit for fresh mediums right now.
I
Only
think,
chance.
I don't know, because Pontic could stay out for track position, potentially, although I don't know how big the pit stop gap is between...
I do not believe Pontic has gained enough distance. I think Josh could pit and keep P1 regardless
Yeah.
of what Pontic does.
Yeah, I reckon
Pontic now has to decide, does he pit for mediums or does he stay out? And Lone Wolf, who is on 4-lap on hards, probably has to do the opposite of whatever Pontic does.
Or do they risk it for the chocolate biscuit and go for the option tyres, the soft tyres, and run the race on that?
It looks like
He
Josh
does.
does and
Soft
puts it
tyres.
on softs. Pontic has a decision to keep on hards or pit for softs. Are the softs going to fall off
stays
in
out.
8 laps? He stays out?
Yeah,
He stays
and
out.
Lone
He
Wolf
takes
stays out.
P2. So does Pontic. DRS is enabled. It was a VSC, not a safety car. I am confused.
Yeah, I didn't see what thing it was, and there's another V-car round at the safety car restart at the same place. What on earth
This is
happened
even
here?
worse. Pontic, Josh pretty much gets a free pit stop without having to get next to them.
Yep,
He's
and
still
now on the
4
fastest
laps
tyres.
ahead, on the fastest tire, and a fresher tire.
Second in the last and the last sector and the start finish straight, but then there's a
Lone
and he's
Wolf
round.
again!
Another V-car round, and the Red Bull's got wing damage, and it is a safety car or a VSC. I'm trying to see one of
I
the...
do not have any indicator. I do see a yellow car out. I actually believe it's a full safety car.
It is a safety car. Full safety car, just seen on the pit board. It is a full safety car. That brings Lone Wolf
Kirsch
right
into the
back into
pits.
play.
Everyone is
Wolf.
coming into the pits for a free pit stop. Kirsch is in the pits. Lone Wolf is in the pits. Josh and Pontic stay out. I think they were already past the pit.
They were
lane
past the pits.
when it occurred.
Yeah, this will save Lone Wolf's race. If he goes off Delta, he will get track position on fresh mediums, and that will literally save his race.
Lone Wolf, who has spun twice, is now in contention of being the winner. Josh, who just benefited from a virtual safety car, is now suffering because of the safety car.
And it seems like the safety car are in cahoots with the Visa Cash App Racing Balls, formerly known as Toro Rossos, as they
He
have
brought
both...
out both of them.
Yep.
I
And
was unable to watch the V car, but I was watching Lone Wolf spin into the final chicane.
Same.
However, it looks like a Wizzy is apologizing to the V car, possibly an incident. I do not know.
Not too sure. I was on board with him. He went off a Degner, and then he seemed to just drive into the wall, coming through, just into the entry, the hairpin, and that ripped off his rear tire. It didn't look like anyone was around him, so I don't know if that was any kind of... What on earth is going on with this Mercedes of Dazhart?
That's hurt.
Dazhart, look, he's stopped and he's reversing. That's going to disqualify him. What on earth are you doing? He's waiting by the safety car. What is he trying to do?
I believe that he was trying to keep up with the Delta as much as he can, and throughout turn 1 was going to hit the safety car until he hard braked into the grass.
Yeah, then he was just he was stopped and he was past the safety car and he was reversing.
That is something I cannot explain. I have no clue what his thought process was, but I do know that that safety car destroys your F1 car when you're racing against it.
Yeah, and I know from F1 2019 that if you go between a safety car and a Monaco barrier, you turn into Danny Kvyat. I mean, you turn into a torpedo.
That safety car driver does not care about you. He's on track. He stops on track. That's why
Yeah.
completely braked on
That
track.
was Delta. That was Delta. I can say that was Delta, but I can't say what the reversing was. That was the confusing bit. The front two on
believe-
softs. Interesting.
It's possible dash ability by reversing your delta goes down, which I actually do not know if that works because I don't think I've ever done it.
I don't think I've ever tried to do it.
P1 and P2 keep their position while P3 is on fresh mediums.
Yep.
Kirsch and Lone Wolf on 1 lap mediums, while the front 2 are on fresh softs.
Kirsch on softs.
Lone Wolf takes the riskiest play by starting on mediums, while there's only probably 2 racing laps left. Probably on the worst tire to be on. However, I don't know if Josh, Pontic, and Kirsch have fresh unused softs.
Yep.
I don't think anyone had fresh softs after qualifying, as you only get 3 softs and they use them all during quali. So it's possible the medium might be faster.
And I've just got confirmation that there's a No Rules Racing League returning. That's going to be fun. But back to the golden age of league racing in this league for Tier 2. The race for Jules Bianchi. And I can't see anyone with a number 17. I've seen someone with a number 19. That is your race leader. Haven't seen any number 17s. And he's in this lap. So
I'm surprised. Steel Wolf stays out, doesn't take
Cash.
softs.
And I've just realised, I said earlier about these 4 potentially being the fight for the title. Look at look at the battle we're about to have. It's about to be 3 laps.
The safety car comes in. The line is not set. There's still cars back behind. 4 cars in contention of winning, all on the same tire besides one, Lone Wolf, who takes another controversial strategy with mediums. And we're off into turn 1.
Yep, 2 laps to go, and Lone Wolf still warming up his tyres, but they head through turn 1, and down the inside goes Kirsch, straight off the back, and he's round again. That was uncalled for, I'd say. That was unnecessary. I reckon he could have been a little bit smarter for that. I don't know if he missed his braking point, but already in this battle, I said it would be entertaining to watch, and Kirsch proves my point within 10 seconds of the battle being live. But heading
I do believe
through,
that
battle
I believe
continues.
Kirsch will report that situation, report it to the stewards. I think he actually might have an argument
Not
that
too
Lone Wolf
sure.
turned into him. You have to need a replay seeing if he was alongside. However, now he's furthest back.
I think he
Josh
was.
keeps.
Yeah, Josh ahead of Pontic, who is looking to take the box of winning in his rookie race, as he claims. But as we head through Spoon, and on the
Lone
exit
Wolf
and
is
wide,
struggling.
Josh wide out of Spoon corner. That's going to leave him vulnerable on the outside of 30. I know he's not going to make the move there. He gets carried to the inside. What? On the inside of 130. Oh, round the outside goes Josh on the exit of the corner. That will be an illegal overtake, I'm sure. Round the outside of the Casio triangle. Contact between the leaders. And that will just
Compromised
entice.
exit for Josh again. He is forced to stick with P2 as he's unable to fight. He
Yeah,
does get DRS, but not on this straight. He has to wait until the next lap to get that DRS on the
Might not
final
need it.
lap.
He won't need
Use
it.
the
He's going to
slipstream,
send it.
not possible. I genuinely believe it is not possible to pass on this track without DRS on the main straight as long as you get a good exit.
Unless someone makes a mistake in the technical sections, but Lone Wolf nearly had a run at Josh on the exit of turn 1, but then
Lone
went a bit
Wolf
wide.
has... Lone Wolf 7 tenths down, is now in DRS. If this maintains, he's 6 tenths. It seems like Lone Wolf's tires actually might have cooked now. He might be fine.
They're 2 tenths between the leaders. There's contact, I think. Was that the curb debris?
That
I'm
was the
not too
curb.
sure.
The curb
That
had been
was the
throwing
curb.
up debris for no reason, despite it being a white line. No box there, but it's okay.
Heading out of
seems
that
like-
corner.
Kirsch back in DRS range. They're separated by 1.5 seconds. Yellow
Mercedes
flags
rounds.
and...
What's that Mercedes round? Maybe just through the gravel. Meanwhile, the front 4 back in action still. On lap
separated
26.
P4 down by 1.2 seconds from P1.
And
Who was gonna win?
130R.
They're coming onto 130R into the final lap.
They're separated by just over 2 seconds. I've never seen 4 cars be so close together since the early 2000s of Williams, Renault, McLaren and Ferrari. This time it's 4 different teams. McLaren are involved, but it's Haas, Sauber and Aston Martin who are in the fight this time. And the Aston
Pontic is
Martin...
not gonna have DRS. Every car behind him is. Can he defend? This is the only chance whoever leads P1 from here is
to
the
the
favorite to win it.
outsides! And to the lead!
And he doesn't get it. Wait!
No, he doesn't get the lead. Josh falls behind Pontic, who takes a wide line through the
No
second
position
corner.
changes.
Interesting, as they head through the anti-bank corner, and they all have to watch out. They can't go for anything too risky, but it is the last lap, to be fair, so it's balls to the wall for this last lap here.
Who is gonna take the risk? Who is gonna be the driver?
The 19 car goes wide, and he nearly throws it all away, and he does. Lone Wolf's
Can Lone Wolf capitalize?
And
Can he capitalize?
The second time there's contact with an Aston Martin out this hairpin. Last time in Tier 1 it didn't work out as he went straight to the wall. This time it has worked out, and Kirsch is going to make the move for the podium. Here on the last lap.
There will going to be so many tickets after this race. I can already see it. Every driver is going to post a ticket in an attempt to gain a position.
Fill up the Wembley Stadium as heading on to the 130R stretch for the last time. Pontic 8/10 ahead. He will probably take the win. Meanwhile, who will take second? It's 3/10. That's the closest that he's been to Josh all race, pretty much. Into the Casio Triangle. It's a late lunge. It's not late enough. It's not a Daniel Ricciardo move. Pontic at the last corner takes the win in the Haas ahead of Josh. Then comes Lone Wolf and Kirsch, who spins over the line.
Who spins.
And then comes the two Mercedes, it looks like, as they go into turn
they are
1.
arriving. It might take a while, but they will show up 30 seconds down from the current leaders. Lule up into P8 from his P12 spin.
Yep, no one finishes with penalties applied. I have to say, if we are in for a full season of those four doing whatever they just did on those last 3 laps, sign me up, because that was beautiful to watch. And I'm surprised that the bottom 8 in this league don't all become commentators, all part of the audience, because that was entertaining to watch. As the last person, called Lule, goes over the line in the Red Bull, and he gets some wings for 8th place. What a race.
Pontic in the Haas takes P1 in the Drivers' Championship. It does seem like it is possible that Aston Martin will take P2, that P1 in the Constructors. However, there is a new point system that I do not know of, so I'm going to wait.
I think they will, because it's 30 points for a win, but it's also 27 points. Oh, it depends who got fastest lap, because they get points for fastest lap in Tier 2, do they? Or I can't remember.
I believe it's 1 point for fastest lap driver.
Okay, I think it is.
Aston Martin finishes P2 and T7. Haas. No, I am confident that Aston Martin will be the constructors leading this race, with Pontic leading the Drivers' Championship. VCarb, unable to use their advantage of 2 drivers, leave this race with 0 points. Mercedes takes a comfortable point haul home, letting them P2.
Meanwhile, the German in the Haas, Pontic, the man who said he was a rookie, but I don't believe him, because that pace was outstanding from the German. And then comes the man who's from Earth, according to his flag, in the Aston Martin, who drove a earth-shattering drive ahead of the Briton of Lone Wolf, sharing that name with WWE star Baron Corbin. That is the end of that race. A thrilling race at that. And thank you to Racing Bulls, or Gaming Bulls even, for appearing. You're actually the first guest who's been on the Twitch channel and my YouTube channel, so congrats.
It's been an honor.
Yep.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honestly very excited for Tier 2. I will continue to watch or even commentate. I've requested. Honestly, this was way better than I expected.
Yeah, as the fastest
very excited
lap.
For the constructor, very excited for the champion, and honestly, very happy to leave Japan.
Yep. Those Kirsch gets the fastest lap in the race of Jules, and then it's an Aston Martin driver of the day, and then Slusher Pit gets 3 awards: most overtakes, cleanest driver, and the scariest avatar pose. What on earth is that? Anyway, that will be the end of the race for Jules Bianchi. Rest in peace, Jules Bianchi. God rest his soul. Thank you to everyone who's raced in Tier 1 and Tier 2 for this race and for this event. I'm not sure what cause this is being done for, but whatever cause it is, I'm sure it's definitely one to be shouting about. I know it's related to Jules Bianchi, the man who sadly passed away after this, after the 2014 race at this track. And on the day where his passing was announced to the world and many hearts sank, we honour him in this race 10 years later. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.